Well, hello, good morning. This is Crypto Isaac with another video. Um, I would start by saying I'm not a financial advisor. I'm not a pro trader. I started trading and studying about charts back in July 2017. So I do not have many years of experience to actually give proper financial advice. I'm just sharing with you guys my studies and for the sake of friends and family who would like to start investing in cryptocurrency, but just that they don't know when to enter, they don't know when to exit. So the purpose of today's video is to establish a few good buy zones and exit points. So I'm gonna talk briefly on Bitcoin, and then we're going to take a look at some altcoins so that you could be better informed investors. I'm going to try and cater this video for new investors. I understand there's a lot of people who've been losing money. I understand I've been losing money as well, but the market it needs to go through this retracement, to bounce back higher, and I'll explain why. So let's jump into Bitcoin. What is happening with Bitcoin? So the first video I talked about a possible fractal. Fractal basically means a movement that mimics a previous historical movement. So today, this could be a possible fractal of this and this, right? It kind of looks the same. So this is number 2. Let's put this number 2. It's number 1. So let's say if this is a fractal of number 2, we're gonna see a big spike up. It's gonna have a huge spike up sooner or later, and then it's gonna go downhill from then on. If this is a fractal of this, it's gonna bounce all the way up and increased by another 11,000% ish. So we don't know. Technical analysis is not a crystal ball. It's just a tool that you should use to establish your buy zones and your exit points. Yeah. So just let's look at Bitcoin briefly. So what is happening? Goodness me, it's dropping, right? So I mentioned 0.786 is a very interesting level where the fractal studies my fractal study shows that it's gonna boom upwards, right? But it's not doing anything like that. It's been going down. So what happens is that Bitcoin has broken through a 1-year uptrend since March 2017. It has clearly broken through the trend line. So basically what this shows is that we are officially on a downtrend. That's essentially what technical analysis is. Oh, I sound clearer right now. Okay. So my thoughts on where Bitcoin's gonna go is it's gonna go to this green line right here. Why this green line? This green line is roughly 7,400 to 7,600 area. We're gonna see if it's gonna continue dropping. It's gonna drop here, and then we'll see some green sticks here. Maybe you will retest this resistance line. Maybe you'll just break down. So it depends on how you want to look at Bitcoin. Goes up, sure, yeah, we're gonna make some money. If it goes down, that's actually when you're gonna make more money. So my personal advice, if you want to listen or not, is to start saving your fiat to buy anything below this green line. So I established a few good areas for you to pump in a lot of fiat inside. Like I said, from today onwards, it's unwise to put in any more money and wait for more bargains. So I drew a couple of lines, technical analysis. They said crypto does not follow any crypto technical analysis. That's to a certain extent it's true. It's just basically a guideline, a guide to show where we should enter and where we should take some profits. So I established 3 good areas where you should pump in some of your savings inside this 3 area. Why this line? It's because it's a steady uptrend here before the parabolic movement up. We can see we can see here it's a steady uptrend, so this is a very strong support zone. If Bitcoin were to to drop this low, it's safe to assume that it would start bouncing from here on out. Secondly, there's this yellow line. This is where the previous resistance was, and it is sitting right at 1,150. So if you see Bitcoin below 1,500, this is when you should put in more fiat to prepare for the following few years of bull run. So these are just two places where you should look to enter with more fiat. I wouldn't recommend to buy any more, because there's a lot of people who bought here, right? There's a lot of people who bought here, and then you're saying, oh shit, it's dropping, I've already lost 50%, 60% of my money. I understand that. So if you do not feel comfortable with putting more money in Bitcoin or cryptocurrency, you should just wait it out for the next bargain. Okay, and something I just want to add, I'm pretty sure all the new investors have heard from the pros, from the early investors. They said to hodl, Bitcoin's going to go up eventually. Yeah, that's true. But just keep in mind, as a new investor, you should always keep in mind that those early investors, they bought here, or they bought here, or they bought here. So for them to say hodl, you're going to make money, do not panic sell, it's very easy because they're still in the profit zone. So keep that thought in your mind before you make any more decisions. So of course you should hold, but I'm just saying to understand that these people have less to lose than you. So what matters is your own money, your own portfolio. So I would say to start saving up money and buy Bitcoin when it's more of a bargain. Okay, that's enough about Bitcoin. Let's look at some altcoins, shall we? So this is Ethereum compared to Bitcoin. So this is basically what Ethereum has been doing. I'm gonna look at the Ethereum USD as well, but all you need to look at for Ethereum, basically this is in the log scale. Let's say if you are in Bittrex or Binance, you open the Ethereum chart, you would see this more. You would see this instead of what my chart says. I'm not too sure if Bitcoin or KuCoin or Bittrex has a log scale, but it's different. I wouldn't go too much in detail how different they are, but yeah, log scales shows the chart more clearly, it's better. They show charts better. So on the log chart, this is basically all you need to look at, just this line. Okay, so if you have Bitcoin and you want to first I just want to add, I use Ethereum and Ripple to kind of time the altcoin market. Okay, so what do I mean by timing the altcoin market? It's when altcoins are at its cheapest compared to Bitcoin, because you have to understand Bitcoin is king. If it goes up, altcoins drop, and if it goes down, altcoins will be dragged down as well. So when do you enter altcoins? Look at all these 3 points. These 3 very important points. This line tells you whenever Ethereum touches this line, it's going to explode. This is a solid support trend. So if you want to buy more Ethereum, I would personally wait when it touches this line right here, around here. So that is when Ethereum will be at its cheapest. So if you want to buy altcoins, I would suggest to hold out for now and wait for Ethereum to actually touch one of these lines, and it would drastically decrease your risk ratio. So yeah, as a new investor, you don't know how to look at look at charts. This is basically all you need to draw. This is basically all you need to draw. Once you see Ethereum touch this point, let's say it goes down here, this is when you make the switch from Bitcoin to Ethereum. yeah, if you play your cards right as investors, you only need to trade maybe a few times a year, or maybe a few 2 to 4 times per quarter year, because if you trade every month or something, that is basically swing trading, and as investors it is hard to find time to really study how to swing trade. So this is for new investors and those who has no time to stare at charts. Okay, let's look at Ethereum with USD. I did some prior studies. So what's going to happen to from a technical analysis point of view? Ethereum is not looking good. Ethereum USD is basically tied with Bitcoin's price. Okay, so what I see is that Ethereum is gonna touch this line here. Why this line? Is because this is the support line before the parabolic movement up. So this is a very strong support line. When you see Ethereum at $500, this is a good time to buy some. The next point is this resistance line. This is when it was doing an ascending triangle. So if you were to trade the breakout, most of the traders would have sold here already, and to continue a bull run, it has to touch where it broke out to continue on the bull run. Okay, so yeah, it needs to touch here and then continue up. So based on TA alone, Ethereum doesn't look good. The Ethereum is gonna drop all the way to 400 before we could see some upside. Okay, $500 and $400. That's when you should put in some. That's when you should switch some of your Bitcoin to Ethereum. Let's go to Litecoin. Oh, Litecoin is touching this line. Basically, this is a good support line. You could decide to buy here, no problem. If you decide to buy here, there's a good chance Litecoin is gonna go up as well, but I wouldn't recommend looking at the general market sentiment. It does not seem to it's gonna hold. It does not seem like it's gonna hold here. The best time to buy Litecoin is actually on this line when it reaches $100. So again, save up your fiat and only buy when Litecoin is at $100. Okay, that is Litecoin. Let's look at Ripple. For Ripple, comparative to Bitcoin, it's very interesting. So I did a price study back in December 2017. I wanted to kind of understand why why Ripple is going so high, right? So I did this. I wouldn't go too much into it. I'm just gonna briefly talk about if you want to buy Ethereum, what kind of trend lines you should have on your chart. Basically, I start by drawing this. This is a rising support line. Basically, this means that Ripple is essentially on an uptrend, a long-term uptrend. Okay, so if you see the similarities, a huge spike and a huge spike, right? So it's safe to assume that Ripple is gonna drop back down here before starting a new new bull run. So I would suggest to wait until it touches this line, and this would mean this in the eyes of pro traders and more experienced investors says, okay, this is the lowest it will go. If it breaks down, no problem, but this is where it is less risky than buying anywhere else, because the chart shows that there is a high possibility that it would touch here before doing the next bull run. So people, the experienced investors, they don't really mind if, let's say, Ripple drops here and it starts to go up. They won't really mind. They would rather put their money in here than anywhere else because the chart says so. So just hang on to Ripple, and well, there's lots of talk, lots of chatter, street talk, that Ethereum is the whale's play zone. So yeah, I would personally wait when it touches this line, and which would establish this, would tells us that Ripple is on a long-term uptrend. So just hang on and let Ripple drop further. Next, we're gonna look at NEO. Oh, I did some price study. NEO doesn't look good, to be honest with you guys. NEO does not look good at all. So simple, just one line, establish NEO's potential uptrend, long-term uptrend. So it doesn't look good to buy anywhere here. I would only look to buy NEO when it touches this line right here. So from here on out, it's probably going to drop further to 600. I'll be generous, maybe 650,000 satoshis. Then it would be a good time to make the switch from Bitcoin to NEO. Secondly, I also realized that this might be a possible fractal of this. There we go. It looks really ugly, but yeah, I'll show you why. So from the start of the uptrend, we have this, right? Let's use a Fibonacci retracement. It cracks down below the 0.786 level. Okay. And then we use a Fibonacci retracement level again here. It doesn't look good, guys. If let's say this is a real fractal, this is where you should put in some money into NEO, or make the switch from a Bitcoin to NEO. I would be generous, maybe 500,000 satoshis is when NEO is gonna be cheapest Bitcoin comparative. It doesn't look good for NEO, honestly. It's a triple top, and it cracks down, right? Yeah, it really doesn't look good for NEO right now. So I would hold off buying any more NEO, and I wouldn't recommend selling it now as well, because yeah, it's really oversold. It could be a chance that it would uptrend from here on out. So if you want to put in new fresh fiat or fresh Bitcoin to NEO, I would wait until it is clearly cheaper than anything else. Oh, look at this. Yeah, this is a good place to buy NEO right here. Roughly around 550,000 satoshis. That is a good place to buy NEO. So yeah, just hold tight. If you already have NEO, just hodl and make sure it doesn't yeah, you don't panic sell or anything like that. Okay. So next I have a few requests to do NCASH. NCASH is a very Nucleus Vision yeah. Nucleus Vision does not have much to go on with. We can't look at the daily chart because there's not much information to work from a TA perspective. So I will look at the 4-hour chart. So NCASH has reached a bottom right here. This uptrend is actually justified from a TA perspective. It did a bullish divergence. Let me just change the color. Yellow and yellow. Bullish divergence, which means on the RSI there's nowhere else to go. It will go up, and this is basically the top of this recent move. So I have a few NCASH. I bought it at 2,000. Yeah, I bought it here, I think. 280 satoshis. That's where I bought in. It continues down, but I know for a fact that it will somehow bounce back up. No one knows exactly how high. So yeah, if you didn't sell it here, you've lost the opportunity to sell. I would hodl, because the next support level that I see is actually 320-ish. 320 to 300 satoshis. That's when that's how low NCASH would drop. So I would hodl and make sure to just be strong. Look at that, 0.618 level is roughly 346 satoshis, and then we have the next level at 300 satoshis. I should change this color, right? Yeah, next level is 300 satoshis. So if you bought NCASH below 300, you are still safe. If let's say NCASH were to drop here or here, the RSI would show it would drop below to 30, which means it's gonna be oversold. So it's not wise to sell NCASH right now. It's we still have a few more. We still have lots of potential to hit, you know, triple your money and quadruple your money, etc. So do not sell your NCASH. Next, we have QSB. I have a friend who wanted to know about QSB. QSB doesn't... This is the lowest the QSB can go on the 4-hour chart. But let's use the daily. Oh, look, would you look at that? The RSI is super oversold on QSB. On the short term, I see a bullish divergence. So let's see, let's do further analysis. Okay, QSB from a TA perspective, it could drop all the way to 1,500 satoshis, and then it would start an uptrend. On the daily, it looks really good. Never ever sell, don't sell QSB right now. TA says that there's a potential that it would do this, bounce and up. Okay, the first sell zone would be the 0.382 level. That's usually when coins would start to hit a resistance. So I would sell roughly that area. Let's change this color. This one is not the why do I always choose blue? I choose purple. Oh, okay. So yeah, if you say you bought QSB here, where I know lots of people bought here and then they experience a huge upside and they didn't sell, right? That's fine, you didn't sell. QSB is looking good. Daily it's oversold. The only place you could go is up. So don't sell it now. If you can, add more position. This is a good place to add more position. If you want to squeeze and you want to try your luck, you could put a buy order at 1,600 satoshis. Okay, that's a good place to buy. In my humble noob opinion, this is a good place to buy more QSB. Okay, if let's say it drops, right, and I was wrong, this is the next zone where you could put, oh, it's right at the 1,000 satoshi level. Yeah. So let's say it drops. There's a possibility that it drops and touch here, right? Which also means in the daily chart, it's gonna go so low. But there's nowhere it could go. It needs to go up before it continues down. So I think if you want to do a swing trade, this is a good time to enter QSB and put a first sell order on the 0.5 level, which is you could put a sell order at 2,900 to grab some profits. So that's QSB. We have Zilliqa. Zilliqa has no information to go on whatsoever. So I will try the 4-hour chart. Zilliqa is very interesting. In my personal opinion, I think Zilliqa needs to retrace more. If you want to buy more of Zilliqa, I would wait. If you want to buy any Zilliqa tokens, you should wait till maybe the safest zone would be here, 0.618. This is where you should add more of your position. And if you already bought somewhere here, I would just hold them. I wouldn't sell it yet. And if it drops further, this is another potential area where you could add more position. Because on a 4-hour, I want to see this drop below 30 before a potential uptrend. So in order for it to drop below 30, it needs to drop somewhere in these two levels. So just hang tight, hodl your Zilliqa, and wait for the next bargain. Okay, so that is Zilliqa. Someone asked about Enigma. Oh, Enigma doesn't look good. Actually, Enigma looks pretty decent. So first off, Fibonacci retracement. Okay, so I see Enigma dropping to this level, 15,000 satoshis. Right now, it's just playing around this area. This is a high action area. So the bottom of this drop could be 15,000 satoshis. So if you do not own any Enigma, this is a good place to buy, to add some position. Also on the daily chart, RSI looks really good. It's pretty oversold, but personally I would not I would like to see it drop to 0.78 level, which then would clearly mean it would break through 30, which confirms the oversold sentiment of Enigma. So just hang on. If you already have Enigma, if you bought somewhere here, I wouldn't recommend to sell anywhere here. And let's say if you want to do a swing trade, you bought it here, right? The first sell zone would be here. You could use the same Fibonacci area. The highest you should look at is here, and anything above that is purely FOMO. So that's Enigma. XLM, Stellar Lumens. I've been watching Stellar Lumens for a while. It's really oversold right now, but it's not at a place where I would put any money in. I would only put money into Stellar Lumens right here. That's when okay, first off, this would probably bounce soon. Maybe it would bounce here, and then you will have a uptrend. I see it bouncing here, and this is where you should sell some of your position, and it will continue downwards. Maybe if the alt season isn't here, it would definitely go up here and drop down below. That's how it is. And next, could this be a possible fractal? It does look pretty similar to this, right? It does look pretty similar. So history tells us it will go up here. It would rise so high up, and then it will start trickling down back to near the support zone. Okay, so the best time to enter Stellar Lumens is actually here, when it drops below 600 satoshis. So remember this price. If you see Stellar Lumens drop that low, it is a huge bargain. So yeah, just prepare your money. Yeah, and just wait for things to happen. Yeah, so lots of altcoins does not look good. I'd like to see XVG as well. Verge is dropping like crazy, approaching oversold. Broke through 0.786 level. Nope, it definitely does not look good for Verge. From here it's gonna have a small spike soon. But if you want to start a first position, I would start the first position right here. The intraday, yeah, roughly here would be a good two. Well, I honestly did not think it would drop this low again to below 100 satoshis. I don't think it would drop that low. Maybe here would be a good place to buy more Verge. But if you bought somewhere up here, it's gonna be a long-term hodl, friends. Kyber Network. Yeah, I did a swing trade on Kyber Network because I saw this very clear bearish divergence. I sold it somewhere here, I think, and then boom, it went all the way down. Right now it's tickling the oversold region, and if they have no catalyst, no good news coming out, it could very well drop further. So then we use a Fibonacci retracement tool. It's below 0.78. So this oversold region could mean that it would bounce here, and then we have to see again if it managed to crack above it. The next sell zone, the sell zone you should look at is here. If you want to do a quick swing, right here, that is almost 80% your money. That's for Kyber Network. Nano, Nani. Oh, Nano does not look good. The best place was this actually to buy, but hindsight bias. Because why? Bullish divergence. That's why you see this long spike, and it will continue going down. If you want to add on to your nano position, it bounced perfectly right here, but it didn't go further. It's probably going to retest, and if you want to buy some nano, this is a good place to open a small position. Second position you should open is here at the 8,500 Satoshi level, and once you bought it here, I would hodl it until the next bull run, next alt season happens. So that's Nano. What else we should see? What else? Oh, Icon, the many favorite of anyone. Icon is a really popular cryptocurrency. Look at this. It increases massively. That's like almost 15 times your money if you sell it at the top, of course. But not many people could say, oh, I sell it at the top. So Icon, what is going to happen to Icon? There is still going to be some drop. The best time to enter Icon is here, 2,400 or 2,500 Satoshis. This is where you should, you could consider adding more of your position. And yeah, if it drops below this, there are still few support lines where you could consider adding more. So if you want to hold Icon long term and you want to get it at a cheap price, you should wait for it to drop here or here or here. This is where it's going to be a huge bargain to hold Icon long term. Okay, TRX. I gave a call for TRX before and obviously not hit this level. So TRX it's holding really steady on this line. So let's put a Fibonacci retracement tool. Let's look at it on the daily. Oh, the daily, this TRX is gonna drop further. It's gonna play around this line before we see any potential uptrend. It broke TRX broke this 400 Satoshi support line. So it's really tough to say, but the only place it will go is downwards right now. You could consider buying TRX when it hits below 300 Satoshis. That is the best time to buy TRX. Will it drop all the way here? Hard to say. That is a good... How many percent is that? That's a good 90% drop. So if you see TRX below 100, that is a huge ass bargain. But for those who bought TRX, maybe up here, it's not going to be a fun ride. From a TA perspective, from a noob perspective, TRX is going to drop further. Ooh, I sound quite ominous, right? Yeah, TRX is probably going to drop further. I wouldn't recommend to buy any more TRX until it hits this level, at least 300 Satoshis, until it cracks below 300 Satoshis. So hold on your money. If you want to buy more TRX, just wait it out, okay? AION. one of my favorite. I did a study on AION. AION is looking really nice. This is the bottom, and right now it is just floating around here, and anything below 2,500 Satoshi is a bargain. Look at the huge upside it has. But the thing is, if it cracks below this line, it's gonna be an abyss. There's no telling what's gonna happen down there. So in the long, it's still not in a oversold region yet. So there is a strong chance that it's gonna go down here, and the price would go below the support line. There's a chance. So if you already have AION, just hodl it. If you want to add more, now is actually a good time. Or you could wait until it breaks below this. It breaks below 2,300 Satoshis, and the daily RSI shows it's completely oversold. Okay, you know what? Let's look at XRP dollar value. Right off the bat, I would not recommend to buy anyone. I would not recommend anyone to buy Ripple until it touches this line. So it has a good 50% to drop more in my personal it's 40% drop from here. Once it drops 40%, it's gonna officially be in the oversold region. Yeah, this is the place where I would add more Ripple if I want to add more Ripple. What else can we have a look? Cardano. There we go. I did a study in Cardano. Obviously it has broken through. This level is a speculative support zone. Right now it's playing at that line. So if you want to add some Cardano, this is a good place. This is a less risky place to add. But personally, if you want a huge bargain, this would be the best place to buy. Which is, if you see Cardano below 1,400 Satoshi, it is a bargain. Okay, so that's Cardano, 1,400 Satoshis. What else can we look at? This is one of my personal favorite to trade, Metaverse. In my personal opinion, it's gonna drop all the way to 2,000 Satoshi and then rise back up. Or it could drop here. We'll never know, but personally I would add so much more in my position on ETP for a swing trade when it reaches this zone, which is below 3,000 Satoshis. That's when it will be the cheapest comparative to Bitcoin. Okay, you would realize that I do not talk about the big privacy coins, because privacy coins have a life of their own. They do not follow alt seasons that much. They also do not follow Bitcoin's movement that much. They honestly have a life of their own. It's great to hedge some Bitcoins on the big privacy coins. It's a great hedge because all they do is play around this rectangle right here. Okay, all they do is just play around rectangles. It's the same with Dash. So each time it touches the lowest point of rectangle is when you buy more. Yep, that's all you have to look at for privacy coins. They always play within the rectangles, and if somehow there's an alt season, then they will explode. They would probably not crash from here on out. So it's a great place to hedge some of your Bitcoin. I guess that's about it. I talked about a few altcoins, and we talked about Bitcoin. Oh, holy shit! It's 40 minutes. I would put some tags or the time tags that shows when I talk about certain coins. Yeah. So that's about it. Thank you so much for watching this video. It's 40 minutes. I know it's super long, but I'll try my best to cut it up. Yeah, stay safe out there, guys. Cryptocurrency is here to stay. So even if it crashes to Bitcoin crashes to 2000, it's a huge bargain. That's an opportunity for you to grab all the huge profits that will come after. So each time a market crash, it will bounce back higher. Just remember that, and have a good day, guys. I will see you guys soon on the next video. Thank you. Goodbye.